What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, and today we got a brand new video. And this one's going to be, let me actually start off with Happy New Year's. Hope you guys are enjoying the 2018 life. And with 2018 New Year, I would like to start heading back to the roots of my channel, which is the informational videos. So as you can see from the title, this is the should you pull, why you should pull on Blazing Bash video. So I think this is a very important video to put out there because, it's just something that people should understand, that Blazing Bash isn't a PvP only banner. It is a way to get more pearls and is a very important banner to summon on, right? And it's specifics over Blazing Fest. So I want to head back to these type of videos where I do more informational videos, head back to more, unit analysis, showcases, things like that. And I'm going to start throwing in some PvP videos in there as well. But I would like to be known as the guy that has the information in a sense, you know what I mean? So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys do enjoy the video, please leave a like. If you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button for more content like this, and I'd appreciate it a lot. We're almost at that 20K point, and I think we can, break it relatively soon. So moving forward, why should you summon on Blazing Bash? Long story short, pearls. You will have more pearls at the end of the day, and in some cases you might end up saving pearls on top of that. So, Blazing Bash units, for those of you guys who don't understand, are units that can awaken twice, right? They have an extra awakening after 6 stars where they become a heart unit. Right. So if we filter out everything but 6 stars, so units that have, you see the Neji, you see the Hinata, the Lee, not the Lee, he's on there too. Yeah, the Lee, 1 till Naruto, the green one, and the CM2 Sasuke. There's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the Gaara. Oh, they're actually all bunched up right next to each other. These 6 units are currently, actually there's 2 more on the top. Yeah, the Hashirama and the Madara. So these are currently the 8 units that can Blazing Awaken, and they have a red star next to them to signify that. So what ends up happening is when you awaken them from their 6-star version, they lose some PvE stats. They sort of get worse in PvE, but they get a big boost in PvP. Now, what's the purpose of summoning for these units? If they're, most people just get them for PvP. Well, yes, you get them for PvP, and that's kind of the main point. Now, moving forward, I'd like to explain that you can get 2 pearls a day from winning 5 times in Ninja World Clash. And this is actually really important, because Ninja World Clash isn't like Phantom Castle, it isn't like Ninja Road. Ninja World Clash is active 24/7 every single day of the week, no matter what. So PvP is always live, and the thing is, there's just a ranking period, right? And during the ranking period, you can get extra rewards. So while the ranking period is live, while it's off, you can still get those 2 pearls a day. And if you guys aren't already getting those 2 pearls a day, we're talking about 60 extra pearls a month. Right, meaning that whenever the next banner comes around, you have 60 extra pearls that you normally wouldn't have. And the thing is, some people don't summon on, some people don't play PvP or don't do their 5 daily wins because it's too annoying to do, it's too obnoxious. They don't necessarily win 5 games in a row. So to them, it's too much effort, because PvP doesn't take, it isn't a short thing, right? If you got to get 5 wins in a row and you don't have your, if you don't have Blazing Bash units, you're putting yourself at a decent handicap. Unless you got like maxed out everything else. If you don't have the Blazing Bash units, 5 wins might take you 10 games. It might take you 15 games. You might not win all the games in a row. Now with the Blazing Bash units, that is one thing that ends up becoming more efficient, right? You end up winning your 5 games a lot easier. Now why does that matter? Because then if you are winning 5 games, and you are losing a lot less with Blazing Bash units, you are at the same time climbing in Ninja World Clash. And there are rewards for Ninja World Clash. If you go take a look at the class rewards, you can actually get the class rewards twice. During the ranking period and during the non-ranking period, you get these rewards 2 times. Right? So just remember that. These are rewards that you get twice. So you can get, if you make it all the way to 10th Dan Kage, and the thing is, you need to only make it up to 10th Dan Kage during the ranking season, because when the ranking season goes off, you keep your rank, and then during the next ranking season, your rank resets. So you can get up to 80 pearls extra for making it up to 10th Dan Kage. And you know, okay, you don't make it up to there, you only made it up to 1st Dan, so what? You get an extra 50 pearls. We're talking about an extra, you know, in total, 80 pearls from here, 60 pearls from the 2 wins. That's a good amount of pearls. You know, that's 140, I think, if I can do math. 60 plus 80, yeah. So, an extra 140 pearls every... I don't know how often. I believe it's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off for Ninja World Clash. So, we're talking about, you know, an extra 140 pearls a month almost. Right? I'm not sure the exact timings of when the offline season is. So, it could potentially be 3 weeks. So, I just gotta remember, you know, figure that part out. But for the most part, it's generally in that, you know, area. So, we're talking about roughly 140 pearls a month to get from Ninja World Clash. And that's not the only thing. If you guys haven't actually done this before, there are other rewards as well. For example, you know, win in Ninja World Clash 400 times. And, you know, that's just the one I'm currently at. Win in Ninja World Clash 600 times. And you actually get rewards for going up every single division. Like, you can only get these one time, but you know, if you've never climbed all the way up to 10th Dan Kage, you have more pearls available to you. So just understand that there are a lot of pearls to get from PvP. Now, that's the main reason to summon on Blazing Bash units, because the thing is, a full team of Blazing Bash units is very easy to make it up to the top. You might not have this godly 80% win rate. Even if you have a handful of Blazing Bash units, you can make it up there. If you take a look at some of the top teams, right? These two are like the top two. I'm pretty sure are either hackers or they switch their teams out. But I doubt that, like, you know, like everyone else's win rates aren't anywhere close to that. Take a look at this person. 5 Blazing Bash units. 5 Blazing Bash units. Oh, get ready for this one. 6 Blazing Bash units. Yeah, delete your account, son. Okay. 5 Blazing Bash units. And you kind of get the idea, right? So, you get, you know, like, having the Blazing Bash units clearly makes a difference. So, that's just something to keep in mind moving forward. Now, the part is, okay, you get the Blazing Bash units, you do good in PvP, you get your pearls, now what, right? If you're summoning on Blazing Bash, you probably aren't summoning on Blazing Fest anymore. So isn't that like, you know, how are you gonna get those units? How are you gonna, you know, what are you gonna do if you can't summon on Blazing Fest? Well, the thing is, if you are doing Blazing Bash, like I said, you will have an extra income of pearls that you normally wouldn't have gotten. So you can use that to summon on Blazing Fest on top of the Blazing Bash you were already summoning on. But let's say, you know, you don't have that many pearls to spare, and you just can't summon on every single Blazing Fest. That is perfectly fine. So people are going to be like, well, how do I do the PvE content? How do I do S rank? How do I do SS rank if I can't, you know, get these Blazing Fest units? Because Blazing Fest units are the best of the best. And that's true. But people seem to forget that Blazing Bash units are really good in PvE. PvE being player versus environment. Anything that isn't Ninja World Clash, anything that isn't PvP is PvE. Right? Even Phantom Castle is PvE. So people seem to forget that these units are really, really good in PvE. So unfortunately, I don't, like, the in-game doesn't show their everyone besides the Hashirama and the Madara. I can only show you these two in particular. Yeah, I tried, because this is my second take recording the video. I just didn't like the way the video ended up. So it wasn't smooth, it wasn't cohesive. So let's take a look at the Madara, right? This is the Unblazing Awakened, and this is the Blazing Awakened version, right? And the thing is, you can Unblazing Awaken characters, right? You can go back and forth between units. So just keep that in mind. Now this Madara, let's take a look at the stats. Short range, 2310 strength, 1528 attack. We're talking about, like, this is how hard the Rock Lee that first came out hits. And you never saw a unit that was stronger than him until, like, I don't know, what, like, Might Guy came out? Like, it was a while until, like, we're talking about almost a full year until we saw a unit that had higher stats than Rock Lee. Base stats. We're not talking about limit breakable stats, right? Just base stats. So it was a relatively long time before someone had those stats. And just so you guys have an idea, if you take a look at these stats over here, right, on the left hand in particular, now if you go take a look at his Blazing Awakened version, it drops. Both stats drop. So keep that in mind. So that's kind of how they do it. Now if you take a look at the Ninja World Clash, it starts off like this, and they actually increase when you Blazing Awaken. Like every single stat increases. That's kind of how they set it up, right? So it's like a swap. You swap the PvE for the PvP. But most people don't summon on Blazing Bash for PvE because they just forget, right? They're like, oh, PvP unit, and they skip over this part. Let's take a look at what he does. 3 times attack towards all enemy in range with an 80% chance of slip damage for 6 turns and knocks them back. And his jutsu size, if you guys don't already know, is the size of the regular Blazing Fest Madara's, right? So 3 times attack, we're talking about like close to like what? We're talking about roughly 8,000 damage AoE, Madara size, chakra generation, right? And this is 4 chakra. Like, don't forget about that, right? This is 4 chakra. And its ultimate jutsu 7.5 times attack towards all enemies in range, right? So 7 times attack, 14. We're talking about close to 20k damage AoE, 60% chance of jutsu sealing for 3 turns and or immobilization for 1 turn. That is a really good jutsu to have. For 8 chakra, that's nothing. And the thing is, the slip damage, combos with Utakata, so just keep that in mind. Like, these are really good units. Let's go take a look at the Hashirama, and that should give a good enough idea. Hashirama is a mid-range with 1822 attack. That is a lot of attack for a mid-range unit, and he's pretty tanky as well. 1810 health. Now, what does jutsus do? 4.7 times AoE and knocks back 70% chance of jutsu sealing for 2 turns. The other one, 12 times attack to all enemies in range, knocking them back with a 60% chance of immobilization. This is the same thing as Obito Jutsu. This hits everything, right? Everything on the map gets hit, and that's a 12 times attack. You're talking about, like I said, 20k damage, AoE. It's literally going to hit everything on the map. Really good for taking out fodder. And this is 5 and 10 chakra, but he has a dupe ability that can bring it down to 4 and 8. So keep in mind that these units, and this is the same for everyone. I'm just showing you Madara and Hashirama, but everyone is like that. Now, the last thing is, so pretty much my point with that is that, you can summon on Blazing Bash and have perfectly, viable, not even viable, you're talking about top tier units for PvE with these guys. But you don't see people running them because they just don't remember. They don't, they'll forget that you can use these units that way. And the last thing I wanted to explain is that duplicates, right? If you are on Blazing Fest, to run Blazing Fest teams, specifically the Rinnegan Sasuke and the Sage of 6 Pass Naruto, you need a lot of dupes. And that goes for almost every Blazing Fest unit that you see in PvP, right? You're going to need a lot of dupes to make them work well in PvP, right? Madara is one of the ones that doesn't need it. But Sage of 6 Paths, Rinnegan Sasuke, those guys need like 5 dupes to be viable in PvP. Like, who's going to have that, right? Or you can just summon on Blazing Bash, get 1 copy of every unit, and you're set, right? You might not, like, the climb from, like, 5th Dan Kage to 10th Dan might be a little bit harder, but at that point, like, you already made it. So that's kind of, like, the basis of everything. I know this video is dragging on just a little bit. I want to cut it under 15 minutes, so I have about a minute left. Now, hopefully that kind of explained why Blazing Bash is better. The next video that I'm going to be doing either tomorrow or the day after will be which Blazing Bash to summon on, because now they're split, right? So I'm going to be explaining which units to summon on depending on who you have, who you don't have, what are better if you have no one, etc. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, consider leaving that like. If you are new to the channel and would like to see more content like this, leave that subscribe button. We're almost at that 20k. We're going to get this channel big, growing before 2019. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.